Hi, welcome to Movie Explained in English. Today, I'm going to explain an American comedy, drama movie titled, Relaxer, which was released in the year 2018. The movie starts with two boys called Abbie and Cam from Minnesota. They are jobless, have no talent, and are hated by all their neighbors. The whole day they play games and participate in random challenges, hoping to win some cash prize. Basically, it is the younger brother, Abbie, taking part in the challenges while the elder one, Cam, records him and takes care of other arrangements. In the first scene, Abbie is playing video games on his couch with great focus. Turns out this is also a challenge. Every 5 minutes, he will have to chug down 100 milliliters of milk, within a time frame of 10 seconds. This will continue until Abbie finishes the entire game. The hardest part is that he cannot even get up from the couch, let alone go for a bathroom break. During the challenge, Abbie gets tired and thinks of quitting several times. However, Cam chastises him to keep going, saying he is a quitter who has never done anything good in his life. He also mentions that Abbie quit his recent job, because of which they are in this predicament now. They have no money to buy food or pay for rent. Hearing this, Abbie reluctantly obliges. Several hours later, the challenge is still going strong. Abbie has completed a substantial part of the game, but his urinary bladder is almost about to explode. He can't hold it any longer now. To gather some strength, he puts on a weird pair of glasses that his dad had gifted him years ago. From their conversation, we get to know that their dad has been incarcerated for assaulting a kid. Mac hates him for it, and hopes to never see him again, while Abbie believes that their dad is innocent. In the next scene, Mac heads to the other room to get something. He wants to spice up the challenge by adding a few more elements to it. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Abbie grabs the almost empty gallon of milk and pees in it. After a while, Mac returns with some stuff, among which is a magazine. He turns to a page and starts explaining about a celebrity gamer named Mitchell. The man has apparently reached level 256 of Pac-Man, and he has declared an open challenge. Anyone who reaches level 257 will be awarded with a cash prize of $100,000. Cam asks his brother what he will do if he wins the challenge, to which Abbie replies that he will buy a private jet. As the two are engrossed in their conversation, Cam suddenly realizes that the gallon of milk is missing. He asks Abbie about it and the latter reluctantly brings it out. Surprisingly, Cam is still adamant on finishing the contents of the gallon, unaware of what his brother has done. Abbie tries his best to explain that he can't drink anymore, but Cam is having none of it. He wants to continue with the challenge no matter what. So, he pours the content on Abbie's bottle and starts counting down the time. The poor guy is about to drink it, but he suddenly starts puking all over the place. This ends the challenge effectively. Cam is furious, and he once again berates his brother for being a quitter. He explains that he rented the camera for an expensive amount, but now, he will have to return it without any profit. These words really touch Abbie, so he promises to do another challenge and finish it. Cam tells him to take on Mitchell's challenge, which is reaching level 257 of Pac-Man. However, during the whole thing, he won't be allowed to get up from the couch. This is a punishment for his recent failures. Saying this, Cam starts packing his stuff, saying he is going to his friends and will be back on New Year's Eve. He also reminds Abbie that the camera is recording everything. After he leaves, Abbie decides to complete the challenge in his own way. He calls his friend, Dallas, and asks him to bring pizza, drinks, and a movie. An hour later, Dallas arrives at the door and immediately starts complaining about the foul stench coming from the room. He also makes fun of Abbie for being an unemployed person, who thinks challenges are a way of earning money. Then, he delivers some painful news. He couldn't bring the pizza because his ex-girlfriend was there and he didn't want to face her. Hearing this, Abbie asks him to simply get a sandwich from the freezer. Dallas complies, but before handing it over, he makes sure to chew a good bite out of the sandwich. Dallas also refuses to hand over the drinks he brought, saying he wants to be paid for it first. Abbie insists that he is very thirsty, but Dallas doesn't change his mind. Instead, he decides to use them for a challenge of his own. Dallas tapes the bottles of drinks on both his hands and starts performing weird moves. At this point, Abbie has had enough, so he wears his glasses and starters at his creepy friend in anger. Surprisingly, this causes the caps of the drinks to blow off. Dallas is taken aback by the incident, and he starts wondering if the glasses have superpowers. When Abbie doesn't reply, he pours most of the drinks on the floor. Following this, he plays the movie he brought, and it turns out to be a cartoon. Expectedly, this enrages Abbie and he calls Dallas out for being a useless brat who couldn't bring any of the things he had asked for. He is just a jerk who likes to make fun of people. After he calms down, Abbie asks Dallas to put the video game back on, so that he can continue with the challenge. The latter does as asked, and finally prepares to leave. Before going out however, he throws one of the bottles towards Abbie. It contains little to nothing, but our protagonist cherishes it like there's no tomorrow. That night, after all his supplies have run out, Abbie tries to retrieve a cup from the floor without standing. He uses a selfie stick to get the job done, but unfortunately, the cup contains a lot of cockroaches. So now, Abbie will have to spend the night hungry and thirsty. The next morning, 2 fumigators arrive there and wake him up. They want to fill the place with insecticide gas and kill all the pests that have been bothering the nearby tenants. They then ask Abbie to step out, but as expected, he refuses. After being a quitter all his life, he is adamant on finishing this challenge one way or another. Unfortunately, the guys are having none of it, so they lift the couch to take him outside. With no options left, Abbie promises to give half his earnings to them, once he wins the challenge. The guys find it hard to believe, but nonetheless, they let him be. Shortly after, they spray the whole apartment with poisonous insecticides and leave. Abbie is still on his couch. He has put on a face mask and is munching on some leftover sandwich he found on the floor. He tries playing for a while but soon passes out due to extreme fatigue and dehydration. That night, one of his friends, Erin, arrives and wakes him up. She is surprised to see him in this state and asks why the lights are off. Abbie replies that they stopped working. Now, he is giving it all to complete Mitchell's challenge. Hearing this, Erin becomes even more surprised, saying that reaching level 257 in Pac-Man is impossible. There is a glitch on the 256th level which makes sure no one can cross it. However, Abbie is still hopeful. He wants to at least try because he needs the money to meet his incarcerated dad. As the two continue talking, Erin's coworker, Cortez, arrives at the door. He seems to be an arrogant man who likes bullying others. He immediately starts complaining about the foul smell coming from the room and asks Erin to come with him. When she asks for some time, he begins provoking the half-naked gamer. Cortez reveals that Abbie's father is a child assaulter who has never done anything good in his life. He was caught red-handed inside a gas station, but he still has no remorse about it. However, Abbie does not stay silent. He says that his father was an honest and hard-working man who was framed by evil people. He was only trying to help the girl at the gas station, but the authorities perceived him in a wrong way. Despite the clarification, Cortez continues bullying him. Having had enough, Abbie finally snaps and puts on his special glasses. He then gives Cortez a menacing look, because of which the latter starts feeling slight pain in his chest. Fortunately, before things got out of control, Erin stops him. She then angrily leaves the place with her friend, promising to never come back again. Abbie is slightly upset, not because her friend is leaving him, but because she didn't bring any food for him. Nonetheless, he brushes it aside and resumes playing. The next morning, Abbie wakes up in a cold sweat. He is extremely dehydrated due to the lack of fluid in his body. To make matters worse, he is also choking because all the windows in the room are closed. Since Abbie has nothing to consume, he simply licks some sweat from his body, hoping it can re-energize him. The plan works, and once Abbie gets some of his energy back, he tries reaching for the window to open it. Since he cannot get up, he uses various objects around him, but none of them work. At last, he reverts to his biggest weapon, his glasses. Abbie puts them on and signals the window to open itself. Unfortunately, he miscalculates his powers and ends up breaking the window glass, through which, a dead bird suddenly enters. After checking out the bird, Abbie realizes that it is raining outside. So, he tries to gather some rainwater through the window. He uses a camera tripod, but the plan fails miserably. At this point, Abbie has become so desperate that he starts collecting the tiny droplets of water seeping through the walls. However, it soon stops raining, and the droplets disappear. Frustrated, he once again calls Dallas and tries manipulating him into bringing some food. Abbie explains that they are going to play a new challenge in which they have to eat a pizza inside 5 minutes. Sadly, Dallas finds out about the deceit and hangs up the call, making the half-naked gamer completely delirious. In a fit of rage, he smashes some stuff around him. Later, Abbie thinks of an idea. He had seen a water pipe on the wall from outside, so he calculates the exact spot and starts banging on it with his tripod. He manages to find a pipe, but it is the wrong one. Abbie accidentally struck the toilet pipe, and now, the dirty substance is filling his room. Still, he doesn't stop trying and continues striking the wall. A while later, his hard work finally pays off, and he is able to find the drinking water pipe. In the next scene, we are shown that Abbie is still inside the room, on his couch, playing the video game. However, drastic ramifications have been made to his surroundings. First of all, he has grown a long beard, indicating that it has been a while since he got off the couch. The window is still open, so he usually kills birds and cooks them for food. As for the water, he still has that unlimited supply. To summarize, Abbie looks like a caveman. One night, as he is playing, his neighbors start celebrating an occasion by launching fireworks in the sky. Abbie uses this as a motivation, so he puts on the glasses and starts playing with all his focus. Surprisingly, he manages to beat the supposed impossible level 256 of Pac-Man. Abbie celebrates the success alone, thinking that he is some kind of god. The next morning, Cam finally arrives at the apartment with a friend. He is shocked to find his brother still sitting on the couch. When asked, Abbie reveals that he has completed Mitchell's challenge, and is now looking for a much more difficult one. He then asks what day it is, to which Cam responds that they just celebrated the 4th of July last night. This means that Abbie sat on the couch for more than 6 months. As the two continue talking, Cam reveals that their dad passed away, because the outside world has become catastrophic. Crimes have increased, global warming has taken a turn for the worse, and people have started eating each other. Their dad was also probably eaten by someone. Just then, Cam finds one of his brother's birds, which he has kept in a box. It is a decomposing, half-eaten bird, yet Abbie calls it his pet. Disgusted, Cam starts making fun of it, enraging Abbie. So, to teach his brother a lesson, he finally gets up from the couch and uses his telekinetic powers. His glasses also start glowing, because of which Cam feels a sudden pain in his head. The next second, his head explodes into smithereens, splattering blood all over Abbie. With this, our gamer protagonist has completed yet another challenge. He has now been drenched in literally all the bad stuff: sweat, vomit, pee, insecticide, excrete, and blood. In the final scene, someone comes through the door, which makes Abbie smile for the first time in months. He slowly hands over his favorite knife to the person, possibly his dad. That's my explanation for the movie Relaxer. So what do you guys think about the movie? Write in the comment. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.